Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your spiritual revolution guidance reading for the month of Leo. Okay, so Leo season is running from July 22nd until August 22nd, and there is a lot going on. Okay, actually, the second day of Leo season, July 23rd, Mercury is stationing direct. So for the past 3 weeks, Mercury has been in retrograde. So you may have been feeling the call to pause, to slow down, to reflect on your life. But right out the gate in Leo season, Mercury is saying, you know what? Let's get this party started again. It is time to take action on everything that we've been reflecting on and to move forward. However, we need to remember that we still have Pluto and Neptune in retrograde. And in Leo season, we are going to see Saturn and Chiron station retrograde as well. So we're going to have 4 luminaries in retrograde during the summer. So it's still a time to reflect because there has been a lot going on in the world this year, and we are still processing and integrating all of it. So if you still feel like it's time to pause and relax and reflect and go inward, then absolutely I support that. However, like I said, Leo season is going to be crazy because we have the full moon in Aquarius on July 29th. And then on August 12th, we have the new moon solar eclipse in Leo. So yes, we're moving into Leo season. We're also moving into eclipse season. And eclipses bring transformation. This is death and rebirth. This is a call to really remove that which is no longer serving us so that we can move into the next phase of our spiritual evolution. And in the middle of these moons, we have the Lion's Gate. So Lionsgate portal peaks on August 8th, and this is bringing a lot of transformational manifestation energy to the party as well. We also have in Leo season 3 personal planets. So Venus, Mercury, and Mars are all shifting into new signs. So that's going to bring some fresh energy. And then towards the end of Leo season on August 18th, the nodes are shifting into new signs. So the North Node has been in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo for the past year and a half. And on August 18th, the nodes are shifting into Aquarius for the North Node and Leo for the South Node. So that is really going to shake up the direction of humanity and what's happening in the collective consciousness, because the nodes are our fate points. That's our collective destiny and our karma, and we're really looking to balance them on the Leo and Aquarius axis for the next year and a half. And so this is all happening within Leo season, and we're going to get your overarching energy. Okay, Virgo, let's see what is coming through for you for this month. Okay, so first off, the chakra that you're being invited to connect with is your throat. So we have communication, self-expression, exchange, sharing, and connection. So this is all about communication for you, my lovely Virgo. So what are you saying? What are you not saying? How are you connecting with those around you? What are you expressing? Are you holding everything in, or are you expressing too much? Is there an equal exchange? And are you listening as much as you're speaking? All of this, I think, comes with the throat chakra and communication. The other overarching energies that you have for this month are restlessness. So Mercury in Aries, and drama, Mercury in Leo. Restlessness and drama. Okay, so Virgo, Mercury is your ruling planet. You have Mercury in Aries, Mercury in Leo, and these are both fire signs. And actually, not the fire signs rule communication, but Mercury rules communication. This is a very mercurial reading, a very mercurial month for you. And Mercury governs the mind and our analytical thought processes and how our thoughts become our expression, our communication. And there's this restlessness and this drama that's coming up as themes. So you might feel like you're not speaking enough, that there's more that you need to say. And there could be potential for the things that you're saying to rub people the wrong way and to potentially create drama, or you'll get caught up in dramatic situations where, that there's things that you really can't hold back. And that's just what's coming through right now. But we're going to get into the details of your reading and see what your spirit guides want you to know. Okay, so these spiritual revolution guidance readings are for people who are aware that we are in a spiritual war and you are being called to be part of the spiritual revolution, to be part of the light forces that are working against the dark forces. And if you are called to this reading, then that is you. And I channel messages from your spirit team, from the creator, from the collective consciousness, from your highest self, all in the, all for the highest good. So let's see what messages are coming through for you. And my ear just started ringing. Virgo, I feel like every time I do a reading for you, spirit comes through so strongly. And I don't know. That's pretty cool. Okay, so for this month of Leo season, Virgo, you have the energy that you are coming into this month with, that you're bringing forth from Cancer season, is Five of Swords. Okay, and this deck is the in-between deck. So we read the energy of the current card, but also the energy of the next card. So the imagery that we see here is kind of a blend of both. So the Five of Swords to the Six of Swords. Traditionally, the Five of Swords is a conflict card. So I think that, this is kind of relating to what I was talking about with restlessness and drama, with this communication, with the things that you've been holding back, or the things that you've been saying that may have contributed to some conflict in your life. And the Five of Swords is about conflict and thinking differently than, the status quo, and not being afraid to express your opinion, even if it's going to challenge those around you, or even potentially hurt those around you, and about really, being true to your truth and speaking your mind. And the Six of Swords is it's like moving on. It's I don't know why I keep wanting to say like a removal. I think it's because of how this is playing out. It's like removing yourself from the situation, or removing yourself from the people involved that are triggering this conflict. And I don't know, perhaps you're the trigger and you need to remove yourself, right? Everything is a mirror. And if you are being triggered, or if you're triggering someone, then really you need to go within and take a look at, okay, what is underneath this? Conflict is always a window into higher growth, into our inner selves, into our subconscious, into our programming and our conditioning, because you're reacting rather than responding. And what you can do is really take a step back and look at yourself from the observer, look at the situation as the observer, and be like, okay, is this actually an unhealthy situation for me to be in? Or am I overreacting? Is there a lesson here? And I think that that's what this card is saying, is that there have been some conflicts that have come up over this past month, and you're really being asked to look at this from the observer's perspective, to take a step back, to remove yourself, so to speak. Okay. And so that's what we're bringing into Leo season. So what are you really being asked to embody during this month? And we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups flowing into the Nine of Cups. And again, the Eight of Cups is another card where I would say this is about removing yourself from a situation, moving on to, if we're thinking about the Eight of Cups flowing into the Nine of Cups, then it's about moving into a place where you really feel emotionally secure. So what I'm going to say is these conflicts that you were experiencing are not healthy for you, and it's not a space that you need to be in. Yes, you're being triggered, and you need to look at that. However, it feels like, maybe there's some toxicity there. And the Eight of Cups is really, it's kind of like, it feels emotionally regretful. Like there's like a sadness, there's a melancholy that comes with the Eight of Cups. It's like, yes, you know that you need to move on, and that the Nine of Cups is waiting for you, like this sense of peace and calm and emotional security. However, it's sad because if you are having conflicts, um, whether this is with a friend or in your relationship or with a coworker or with your family, you know, there's a relationship there. There's something that you have cultivated. And to remove yourself from that is, it can be sad because you like hanging out with that person, or you really love the project that you're working on with this coworker, or whatever the case may be. And so there can be a little bit of like a regret there, like a sadness. But know that by removing yourself, you're really following the path to your personal peace. And a lot of this feels very like communication oriented, very mercurial. There has been drama. You're feeling restless, and there hasn't been like an equal exchange. And so, and what just came through is this doesn't have to be like a permanent removal or a permanent separation. It can just be like leaving the room for 5 minutes in order to collect yourself and to really look at this from that observer perspective and be like, why am I being triggered? Or what is happening? Why is this person being toxic? And bringing yourself back into a regulated state before continuing with the conversation or before continuing with the meeting, if this is work related. And knowing that by setting these boundaries and being able to protect yourself, by giving yourself some space in these situations, that this is going to bring you some peace, that you're going to feel a lot more emotionally collected and regulated. Okay. Definitely not an invitation to bypass what's going on, because this is coming up in your life for a reason, and it's giving you some important information as to what you need to grow on spiritually, emotionally, in order to be your highest self. Okay. And then so the final outcome here that you have for Leo season is the Knight of Coins. And the Knight of Coins flows into the Queen of Coins. Okay, so this is like a very hardworking, industrious card. So what this is saying is that by really taking care of yourself, maybe avoiding the drama, harnessing your restlessness by expressing yourself through, healthy communication, that you are going to be able to put your efforts and your energy towards your projects, towards the things that you are trying to build and create. And this could be relationships. Pentacles is not always about money or career. It's about the material realm. And the material realm includes our relationships, the people around us, and what we are building. This could be, building your home, building your tribe, building your community, building your career, building your business, perhaps, all things like that. But it's really about the material realm and the things that you can touch and feel and hold. And that's what I think you're really going to be able to focus on by keeping yourself in a regulated awareness where, you're not getting pulled into these cycles of drama, these cycles of conflict that you have experienced in the past. because your energy is better served in a productive manner um, rather than being derailed and pulled into these kind of like lower frequencies, darker energies. And so you will experience this productivity, this ability to create towards the end of Leo season, and and find abundance. And that could be financial, that could be, like perhaps your garden is being harvested, maybe that's your project, maybe it is a business that you're cultivating, maybe it is just relationships within your inner circle. But there's going to be the sense of abundance and fulfillment and really like a security. Like, okay, what's kind of coming through is that the relationships where you're having this conflict will be more secured by the way that you handle them. Okay, so let's get a final message for you, Virgo, and see what is coming through. Okay, so we have the new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. So again, even though new moon in Pisces is Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, but this feels also mercurial in a way, because contemplation is our mind. Meditation, yes, that is Neptune, that is Jupiter, that's our connection to spirit, but the connection flows through and comes out. And so I think by also I want to mention, this being the new moon, this is the start of a new cycle for you. So I really feel like these lessons that you're going through right now in terms of the conflict and taking care of yourself is going to bring you to a space where you are able to take this next step on your spiritual path, and that will be very clear to you that it's like, okay, this is a level up in my shadow work, or this is a level up in really deprogramming my previous conditioning and these cycles and patterns of repeat that I've been in. And you're being asked to meditate and contemplate, perhaps journal, speak to your guide, speak to your creator, your higher self, and ask for assistance from the unseen realms, because the spirit is always working with us. And I think, really finding the balance between the spiritual and the material is important for you right now, what you're being asked to embrace and embody, and to really rise above all of these things that are pulling you into these potentially destructive patterns within these themes of communication, conflict, restlessness, and drama. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, and let me know if anything in this resonated with you. Drop a comment below, like the video, share, subscribe. It does help out the channel, and we are new. And remember that this is a general reading. So I'm reading the general energy of Virgo and for the month of Leo. So if you want to go deeper and see how this month is really going to affect you personally, I'm going to drop my booking link down below, because I do personal readings as well, where we'll go into your personal astrology and pull some cards to see, okay, what is really affecting you right now? What do you need to know? And I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you in the next one.